Salve a tutti, siamo qui nel nuovo episodio di Dragon Age. Oggi continueremo a conoscere altri personaggi e faremo queste missioni che ci sono state date. Come prima c'era stata di creare l'armatura. Allora, creiamo questa armatura. Questa è la creazione armature. Come vedete qui si possono creare degli elmi. Queste sono le armature per i maghi, le armature per i laghi e le armature per i guerrieri. Noi abbiamo questa maglia da paladino, un'armatura di un progetto di livello 1 e qui ci vengono richiesti 7 materiali e 4 materiali. Ogni materiale ha le sue caratteristiche, vedete che variano in base, in questo caso noi useremo la pietra estiva. Salute massima, difesa e mischia, sbilanciare e salute massima. Effettivamente sbilanciare subendo un colpo o difesa e mischia, mettiamo sbilanciare, tanto è un'armatura salto per prova. Ed ecco creata la nostra armatura. La missione, invece si possono modificare le armature. Come potete vedere, la nostra maglia da paladino stordente, braccia pesanti, e abbiamo un bonus di più 3 mischia. Confermo ed ecco fatto. Ora se andiamo nell'inventario apriamo la nostra nuova armatura. Allora, qui abbiamo dei pugnali che tanto non li usiamo. Scudo rinforzato per Cassandra, guardiamo un po'. Meglio. Come armature cosa abbiamo? Per Solas, Varric, abbiamo giubba da mercenario, livello 4, ancora non è possibile usarla. Ed eccola qui, vedete che abbiamo migliorato. Giubba da paladino si può dare a Cassandra. Questi vanno negli oggetti di valore. Come accessori, resistenza al freddo non è che serve tanto. Amuleto dell'astuzia per Varric, amuleto della volontà si darà Cassandra. Ed ecco la nuova armatura. Poi vi spiegherò anche i livelli. Ora al momento andiamo a conoscere per bene Cassandra. E come vedete qui appare anche l'icona del cuore. È possibile con Cassandra instaurare una relazione. Io proverò proprio a instaurare una relazione con Cassandra.
You're kind of a force of nature, aren't you?
When I need to be.
It's impressive.
You flatter me.
I'm trying.
Did I do the right thing? What I have set in motion here could destroy everything I have revered my whole life. One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool, and they may be right.
Ha dovuto farlo, inutile guardarsi indietro, è stato uno stesso. Obiettivamente lei ha agito bene secondo me.
You didn't have any choice.
Didn't I? My trainers always said, Cassandra, you are too brash. You must think before you act. I see what must be done, and I do it. I see no point in running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
Siccome l'avevo un po' a lusingare.
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
I was determined to have someone answer for what happened. Anyone. You've said you don't believe you're chosen. Does that mean you also don't believe in the Maker?
Allora, che non credi, non so decidere, non ci credo. Allora, obiettivamente io per me creatore non esiste, però siccome devo lusingare un po' Cassandra, diciamo che...
I believe he exists.
That's comforting. Surely the Maker put us both on this path for a reason. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us.
Continuiamo con Cassandra.
It occurs to me I don't actually know much about you.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
I was born in Austria, and that's where most of my family is.
The Trevellians, is it not? A large clan with a rather clever coat of arms. Tell me, do you consider the Free March as your home? Are you eager to go back?
La mia patria è il mondo.
Wherever I am is home enough for me.
That's how I feel now, after years of tending to business for the Divine.
Andiamo. Parlami di te.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
Vorrei avvicinarmi a te.
Is there any harm in us becoming a little closer?
Plenty.
Is that right?
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pendergast, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lord.
What is
So
it,
you were the
Lina?
right hand to the Divine.
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
Che significa mano destra?
But what does a right hand do exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
Credevi in lei?
You thought she could really change things.
Justinia knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
Come sei diventata mano
So
destra?
what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that? It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
Sei troppo modesta.
I'm sure you're just being modest.
I was there. I think I know what happened. To hear others tell it, I alone saved Divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart. And there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral, but I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
Che fine fecero
What
quei
happened
maghi?
to the mages that helped you?
They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and Most Holy's gratitude. Many of them died at the conflict.
È delizioso.
Delightful, you know that?
No, I do not know that. I object. There is nothing delightful about me.
I beg to differ.
I think I preferred you in the stocks.
È una
You're a
reale?
member of Navarra's royal family.
The Pentaghasts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentaghasts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
Per questo che
And
sei
you joined the
andata?
Seekers to get away from that.
It was a life worth getting away from. The Pentaghasts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so was I.
Parlami di Navarra.
You don't seem to like your homeland much.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus I did not see Navarra, the real Navarra, until much later. By then I realized I knew it not at all.
I tuoi genitori?
Your uncle? What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family, and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a Modalità who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
Mortalisi?
Your uncle was a Modalità.
A death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them in special crypts. The Modalità supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Navarrans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
Parlami di tuo fratello, non lo chiederò perché al momento non me lo dirà nulla, soltanto più avanti si potrà affrontare questo discorso. E quindi qui abbiamo da depredare. Un progetto di livello 2 interessante. Qui abbiamo un altro scrigno, arco lungo, e qui abbiamo l'ultimo dei nostri personaggi, Callen.
You there. There's a shield in your hand. Block with it. If this man were your enemy, you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold back. The recruits must prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
We've received a number of recruits. Locals from Haven and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
Non è stata una mia scelta.
That wasn't my idea.
I'd be concerned if it was. I was recruited to the Inquisition in Kirkwall myself. I was there during the Mage Uprising. I saw firsthand the devastation it caused.
Sir.
Cassandra sought a solution. When she offered me a position, I left the Templars to join her cause. Now it seems we face something far worse.
Credi nell'Inquisizione?
You left the Templars for this. You believe the Inquisition can work?
I do. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and Mages. Now they argue over a new divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
Ora anche con lui assolutamente. Perdonami. Non c'è problema.
You understand our situation. I appreciate your opinion.
Look around. Our people are well organized and committed. Despite what the clerics think, we are in the best position to help. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Commander, Sir Raiden has a report on our supply lines.
As I was saying.
Mi è spostato da Calle, ma ancora da finire di parlare con lui.
Yes?
Allora, dimmi dei tuoi
Think
colleghi.
of the people you work with.
Who do you mean?
Ne
How
pensi
do you
di
like working
Liliana?
with Leliana?
The Inquisition would not exist without her. I may not always agree with her methods, but she's more passionate about our cause than anyone. Cassandra may have declared the Inquisition publicly, and Liliana is just as responsible for its formation.
What do you
Josephine.
think of our ambassador?
We have little in common. How she delights in meeting with nobles all day is beyond me, but I enjoy working with her.
Parlami dei
Are you
nostri
satisfied
soldati.
with the Inquisition's forces?
Our numbers are small, but they suit our needs for the time being. Some Templars have joined us instead of following the Order. They've proven invaluable in training new recruits.
I should let you get back to
domande.
work.
Was there something you needed?
Perché se ne è
Why would
andato?
Templars break away from the Chantry?
The Order believes the Chantry no longer supports their efforts. Not to the extent they should.
Cos'è
The
cambiato?
Templars have served the Chantry for ages.
In that time, they've come to take the Order's services for granted. Templars risk their lives against blood magic, demons, abominations, to feel as if those efforts are dismissed. I may disagree with the Order's actions, but I'm here as proof of that. I sympathize with their frustrations.
Oh mamma mia, la vita da
I'd
templare.
like to know more about the Templars.
If you need insight into what the Order is doing now, I'm afraid I can't offer more than you already know. Anything else, I will answer as best I can.
Parlami dei voti.
The Templars take vows. I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages, that sort of thing.
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but your life is about to change. When it's over, you give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given a filter, your first draft of Lyria and its power. As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
E cosa fanno i templari?
Do the Templars do anything besides hunt mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
Ne pensate dei
What do
maghi?
you think of mages? Are they all a threat?
I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so here. Not that I want mages moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession of the beast.
Allora, avete vissuto nel
You
circolo?
lived in the circle. What was a typical day for a Templar there?
Typical. The last time I was in a circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that day?
Certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's howling, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
Non parlate con
Templars
i
and
maghi?
mages never speak to each other.
Some do, but Templars are supposed to maintain a certain distance from their charges. If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
Allora, non si può
Why
diventare
did you
un
join the
templare.
Order?
I could think of no better calling than to protect those in need. I used to beg the Templars at our local chantry to teach me. At first, they merely humored me. I must have shown promise, or at least a willingness to learn. The Knight Captain spoke to my parents on my behalf. They agreed to send me for training. I was 13 when I left home.
Piuttosto giovane.
13. That's still so young.
I wasn't the youngest there. Some children are promised to the Order at infancy. Still, I didn't take on full responsibilities until I was 18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
E la tua famiglia?
What about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course, but there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
Come si addestra un
What
templare?
does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, Templars are among the best warriors in Thedas. Initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental focus.
Ti è piaciuto?
Did you enjoy your training?
To learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would be the best Templar I could.
You were a model student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful. Watching a candle burn down while reciting the chant of transfiguration wasn't the most exciting task. I admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
È tutto.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
Allora, abbiamo quasi finito. Qualcosa da dire, parlami di te.
I should get to know you better. We're working together after all.
What would you like to know?
All right. Where are you from?
I grew up in Ferelden near Honda. I was transferred to Kirkwall shortly after the Blight. This is the first I've returned in almost 10 years.
Guarda che è di
Varric's
questo.
from Kirkwall. Did you two know each other?
I knew he was friends with the champion of Kirkwall, but little else. We've spoken more since I joined the Inquisition, largely at Varric's insistence. Apparently I spend too much time with a serious expression on my face, and it's bad for my health.
Andava. Parlami di Kirkwall.
What was Kirkwall like?
While I was there, Canary occupied and then attacked the city. The Viscount's murder caused political unrest. Relations between mages and Templars fell apart. An apostate blew up the Chantry, and the Knight Commander went mad. Other than that, it was fine.
Parlami dei ribelli.
What happened between Kirkwall's mages and Templars?
You were at the conclave. You must have heard people speak of it.
Yes, but you were there.
There was tension between mages and Templars long before I arrived. Eventually, it reached a breaking point. There was fighting in the streets. Abominations began killing both sides. It was a nightmare.
Com'è finita?
What happened then?
The Templars should have restored order, but Red Lyrian had driven Knight Commander Meredith mad. She threatened to kill Kirkwall's champion, turned on her own men. I'm not sure how far she would have gone. Too far.
So you opposed her?
I stood with the champion against her, in the end. I should have seen through Meredith sooner.
Andava. Parlami del
You
flagello.
were in Ferelden during the Blight. Did you fight Darkspawn?
No. I was stationed at Ferelden's Circle Tower. The Circle had troubles of its own. I remained there during the Blight.
Cosa è successo al circolo?
What happened at the Circle Tower?
You who survived the Blight have fond memories of that time. I would prefer not to speak of it.
È stato via a
You
lungo.
haven't seen Ferelden in 10 years. Are you glad to be back?
I was not sorry to leave at the time. I did not expect to return. Now, between the Divine's murder and the breach, I've arrived to find nothing but chaos.
Per
I'll
fare
let you return to
tutto.
your work.
Should you require anything, I'll be here.
E abbiamo parlato anche con Kyle. Fatto questo, anche questo episodio è finito. Salve a tutti e ci vediamo alla prossima.